So just to give you all a basic idea of what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to start off talking about Microsoft Teams WSU email, your Outlook account, and some handy stuff to keep in mind. Then we're going to go on to my.wsu and Canvas, just some basic things. We all know that we're transitioning from Blackboard to Canvas this year, so it's going to be new for everyone. Then we're going to talk about Presence, which is the new student involvement sort of website for a global campus and actually all WSU campuses. And then just a few additional resources that will be helpful for you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Bethany to get us started talking about Microsoft Teams.
Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great evening. My name is Bethany Hackbarth. I am a student ambassador for Edward Murrow College of Communications. I am a global student going into my second year, going for my bachelor's in integrated strategic communications. So I'm going to share my screen to show you all a little bit about Microsoft Teams. So Wazoo will give you guys have your login information, and that will allow you to log in to Office 365. There you can locate like Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a great place for you guys to be able to chat with each other in groups. Like right over here, you can see the chat bar. You can have multiple chats. If you're looking for a specific student that you are wanting to meet with, you can type their name in here. Let's see if I want to do Andrea. They pop up down here, and then you can send them a direct message. You can also use this as another form of Zoom. You can video chat with each other in groups. Here you can also have assignments, activity notifications if you have anything coming up. And then this Teams page will be your different groups. If you have a different study group for separate classes, you can label them here and they'll show up. Or if you do something that we offer is a COOG leadership program, their main location is going to be on Microsoft Teams. So you'll be able to access information there and talk with the instructors. So that's basically it for Microsoft Teams. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was your Wazoo email. Sign in. Put in your Wazoo email. And I just recently logged in, so it won't ask me for my two-factor authentication, but normally when you guys log in here, it will send a code to either your backup email or your phone. You just enter that in and it'll pop up. This is what it looks like. You'll be able to attach your course calendar to your Outlook calendar here, and all of your events, class times, or anything like that will appear here, just like today's meeting. You can also add other people's calendars if you were looking to meet. There's a reminder for today's meeting. Over here is the mail. Let me show you an example of a phishing email. We do get a good amount of these, so make sure to watch out. These are spam emails. So here's what one looks like. You guys can see it. So anything not sent from a Wazoo email is not going to be from the school or from one of your professors. So that's something you're going to want to send to abuse@wsu.edu, and they will take care of reporting that email for you. Just make sure you don't click any links or anything like that, because that will just be bad news. Next thing, these are examples of an e-blast that we have, information about events that are going on, updates on programs we're using, or anything else that we need to know. These will be sent directly to your WSU email. And then over here is an example of a newsletter that is sent out. This is anything that Wazoo might want you to know, like town hall meetings, career resource help, updates about Canvas, all those kind of things. So make sure to watch out for that, because they give you any updates that you might be looking for. And that is about it. This, yeah, that's what I just looked at. Okay, perfect. Here we go.
All right, thank you so much, Bethany. Does anyone have any questions on those tools? They're just super handy. Teams, it's great to connect with your fellow global students that you might not have the chance to meet in person. If you have any group projects or anything, it's really quick to just chat through there. That's all through your WSU email. And yeah, like Bethany said, your WSU email is our main point of communication with you. So if you want to find out about any events or anything that's going on, that's where you go to find out about it. The newsletter does come out on a bi-weekly basis. So every 2 weeks you will be updated, and e-blasts are a little bit, depends on what's going on campus. It could be a little bit more as well. So thank you so much, Bethany. Evan, do you want to talk to us about MyWSU and Canvas?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Bethany. My name is Evan Howard. I'm a new student to Wazoo Global. An undergrad in data analytics right now, and I'm also a student ambassador. So first, what we're going to do is get started with my Wazoo. So when you guys log into my Wazoo, which I have to say can be a little finicky, so you might have to try it multiple times. But once you get in, this is what your homepage will look like. Every one of these tiles is clickable. So first, I'm going to take us to the academic advising, which I think is a great place for new students to start. It automatically gives you your advisor, which you can see mine is Rebecca Stull. And then over here, it shows her Wazoo email and then her phone number that you can reach her at. This is also a place where you can apply to graduate. Like over here, you can see your academic progress and your test scores, things like that. If we go back, you can go to your academic records, which is this little tile right here. And here I think shows all of your past coursework, which I've done too much. But then you can also do your view your unofficial transcript, and then you can actually order official transcripts from here as well. So I think these three are the most important on that one tile. The next two that I'm going to talk about is the financial account and the financial aid. I'm not going to click on those two just because they contain like personal information of mine. But what you can find in this one right here, the financial account, you can actually see what your account balance is with Wazoo. You can see when the charges are due, and then you can also make a payment on that page. And then when you do make a payment, click make a payment, it actually pops up another window, and that other window is super simple. It walks you right through it. It's very, very user friendly. This financial aid tile, that's where you see the summary of financial aid if you've been awarded it. You can accept things, you can decline your award, you can even change your award as well. So that's very useful for students to know. But the most important is this manage class tiles right here. So on this tile, once you click it, you can actually go over and view your classes, and you can see all the classes that you've already registered for. So like right here, I'm in data 115. If you click where it says the lecture, it'll bring up another window that actually gives you details, a little bit more in-depth details about that class. Another interesting thing about this view my classes is this little button right here, and then right next to it says buy books online. If you click that, the website will actually auto-generate like the textbooks that you might need for your classes into the shopping cart. So that's another easy way for you to get your textbooks. Super simple, really, really easy. Next, we're going to go over here to the class search and enroll. And this is something where if you go and you need to know like what classes you want to take or something like that, or you just want to look at different classes, if you type in, say, business, it's a little slow. Sorry about that. Oh, it's very slow. Okay, so as you can see here, there's 74 courses with the keyword of business, and that's kind of a lot. So you can click Over here, these are all filters. So you can click open classes only, if it'll let us. Well, anyway, these over here are all just filters that you can filter out the classes that don't apply to yourself. Another thing that I think students should know about is this manage classes tile is also where you can go to drop classes as well. And oh no, there we go. You can see it's very simple. You click whatever you need, and then you go through and just click, and it'll drop. So let's go all the way back. So the next ones, right here you got inbox, which is pretty self-explanatory. You might get some image or some messages from the school, things like that. Over here is tasks, and you can see that it says 0 to do. But sometimes it might say like 1 thing to do, and it might be related with your financial aid. So then the next thing I'm going to be explaining is this Canvas link right here. So if you go ahead and click it, this is what Wazoo will be switching to from Blackboard. And when you log into Canvas, each one of these tiles is a separate class. So if I had 4 classes, I'll have 4 separate tiles. It's very similar to my Wazoo in that respect, which makes it, I think, kind of easy for new students to get the hang of. So one thing that I really love about Canvas is this to-do list right here. If I was in classes, it would actually show like everything that I have to do, which I think it makes it easy to see what I can check off and everything. So let's click this as if it was a class. So this right here is the class homepage. Things that would be here would be like the overview of the class, a learning objective or goals of the class. Sometimes the professors will post the syllabus there as well, or other little useful information that they might think the students could use. All over here, all of these are links. Some of them are fairly self-explanatory, like the syllabus. It's just another area that makes it easy for students to find what they need. If you go down to assignments, this is just another spot where you can view all the assignments that are due, and then all of the assignments that were past due or you've already completed, things like that. And then, the course schedule, sorry, that's the next thing I wanted to do. The course schedule, some professors will have this and some won't. It just kind of depends on how they want to organize their class. But obviously this just tells you what you're going to be doing week by week. And then what I think is most useful is this modules tab right here. This breaks the course schedule and the assignments all down into weekly visual, I guess, blocks that are easy to understand, that make it super simple for the student to just, click this, and make sure you get every assignment done. So let's click this Team 1 discussion just to see where it takes us. So all the way to the left, we have other, I guess, links as well. And we were on the courses link, and now we jump down to groups. So some instructors might put people into groups, into teams, and this is where your team would be. So again, this is a discussion, which was a homework assignment, and all you have to do is to reply to it. And you can text, or you can type text right into the box, or you can even copy and paste text into the box as well. It's very similar to like an email or to Word, something like that. So everybody should be pretty versed in that, I would think. So if you click home while you're on the groups page, this actually takes you to your team's homepage. So with that being said, you might have 2 different teams. So you can easily switch between those 2 different teams by using the group tab instead of going to every class and trying to switch back and forth. Now, to get back to the course that you were just on, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can click the dashboard, which then takes you all the way back to the very beginning where we were with the tiles, and then click the whatever class you want to go to, or you can click courses and you can go straight to sample course space, and it'll take you right back to the home page, right where we were at. The last thing that I think is, or one of the last things that I think is very important to note is this view course calendar. So if you click that, it'll actually take you down to your own tab right here. And this will show you things where like an assignment might be due on a Friday in this specific class. Or you can click and see, you know, you could have 4 different things on here. It makes it very simple, makes it very visually appealing for students. And then the last thing is the inbox. Self-explanatory, just like an email. You can compose yourself, you can select a course, usually be in your favorite courses. You can go to sample course and then click the directory, and you can either go to your students or teachers, students, or students group. You can send it to multiple people. Super, super easy. And then you go to help. This is where if you're having trouble with Canvas, this might be the route for you to go, is to clear your browser cache. And that usually solves, I would say, 99% of everything with Canvas. In the 2 years I've been using Canvas, I haven't had one problem. So it's a very, very well ran program. But if you cleared your browser cache and you're still having trouble, you should go ahead and click this Wazoo's Crimson Service Desk. If you do that, it'll actually take you to Wazoo, to the Crimson Desk, to the IT department, and it'll auto-generate a blank ticket for you. And then you can go ahead and, you know, fill out what the problem is and do all that. So yeah, that is Canvas.
Okay, so if you've been joining any of our previous events, you might have heard us talk about this before. And if you've been at Wazoo for a little bit longer, like maybe since the spring, then you've probably interacted with Presence at some point. But Presence is our new global engagement sort of headquarters. So you go into the homepage, you open the chat, and the link is right there in the chat too. Oh, sorry, someone's asking me what the code word is. It's online cougs. Sorry, I'm gonna write it in the chat. There you go. All right, so this is your space to find what's going on basically in the global campus. So you go in, this is what the homepage looks like. You can log in this little icon here. And then here you'll find different campuses. So all WSU campuses have their own presence page with their own events going on. You can move around between all of them. You can find organizations, events, forums, opportunities, which I'll talk about, and then some extra resources. So if I scroll down here, we have a little introductory video. Here at the left, it tells you what event is happening now. So you can see the roadmap event right there. Keep scrolling down. It's going to, now this refreshes. So it's going to give you some random events every time you go in. It's just some events that are coming up. Then here are some featured organizations. You can see the app. So if you go in here and click either download on the App Store or Google Play, it's great because the app is basically just the events that are coming up. You get reminders and all of that so that you can attend. And then here you can just see our social media feeds. So let's get started with events. So this is really the main way that we use this page. We put all of the events that are coming up here. So you're going to see all of the Week of Welcome events here, as well as some extra ones coming up. You can filter this by category, organizations, whatever tags that you're looking for, and also by dates. And you can make this into a little calendar view. Something good about the app too is that you can sync the events with your phone calendar or even with your Outlook calendar, which is handy. I'm just going to go back, and those are the events. So if I click let's see, virtual trivia night. You can see who it's hosted by. You can see the date, the time. Here, join on Zoom is always going to be the Zoom link. RSVP is usually a registration form if the event has one. And then here, you're going to see how many points you can earn, which I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Just a brief description. Again, another registration link and some similar events that might be from the same organization. Speaking of organizations, there are some that we already have on here. Now, Presence is mainly for student organizations. With Global, we're still kind of building that up, student clubs and things like that. But you're also going to find things like Global Connections, which is us who do the events. Week of Welcome is listed here as an organization. We also have Global Veterans, Psychology Club, Psychi, which is the Honor Society. And we hope to add more to this moving forward. So let's just click on one to see what that looks like. You can also become a member of an organization, which just means that you get emails and information on them. The button's not going to come up for me because I'm already a member, but if you weren't, it would show up right in this area. Next to the contact, you can also choose to contact. It's just going to send an email to whoever is the rep for that organization. If you have questions or any sort of request, you can do that there. And then the points, which is kind of the most fun part for us. So we have two types of points in the global campus currently. We have leadership points and involvement points. Leadership points you can earn through engaging with ASWCG events. They have some, we can go to their page actually. Let's see if it doesn't take too long. Yeah. So they have different events and of course, taking a little bit to load, but each point type has different prizes that you can earn. So that's the reason why they're separate. So they're all global campus points, but it depends who you're interacting with, you can get that kind of points. So for Week of Welcome events, you're getting involvement points. So just by being here, if you're a global student, you're getting involvement points. If you log into events, with your WSU email, so you logged into the Zoom room with your WSU email, this is automatically feeding the points to your Presence account, if that makes sense. If anyone has any questions at any point, please let me know. Erin, are you wondering the calendar of events, did you say?
Yeah, I just thought the calendar was really useful to see all the upcoming events. So if you could just show us again, clicking through how to see that.
Yeah. Of course. So that is, let's go straight here. So that is in changing the view. So right now it's in a tiled view. You can see it in a list or you can see it as a calendar, which just helps kind of visualize what's going on per day. That's a cool way to see it. And then as for points, so right here, you're going to see to your left what kind of points are currently available. So if you say, well, I want to earn 10 points for doing something. So you click here and it gives you options on what you can do to earn those 10 points. Right now, it's either attend this, so you've already earned 10 points, or attend our Thursday webinar. And if you go back, we also have some specifications like here for games and activities, since we typically already give you prizes, it's 5 points. Webinars are usually 10 points, and open forum events, so like the town hall, things like that, are usually 15 points. Now on this page, you can also see how many points you've earned so far. So let's see. Apparently, I've already earned 10 points for being here, and all these others, and then it gives you a little total here on the left, so you can see how many you've earned. And why would you want points? You might be wondering. Well, you can get swag. So once you start accumulating points, you can accumulate as many as you want. But if you're like, well, I really want to get that license plate, then aim for 500, 1,000 for the hat, 1,250 for the flag, and you click here to redeem. Now the redemption is just filling out a form, basically with your information. And then we go ahead, deduct those points from your point account, as it were, and then ship over the prize to you. So does anyone have any questions on points? Again, all of the Week of Welcome events are worth points, and pretty much all of the Global Connections events are worth points. So just an extra way to earn them, and leadership, again, just ASWSUG events as well. Let's go back to the homepage. That's basically the gist of Presence. Really, it's just a hub to keep all the student involvement things and goings on in one place, so that it's accessible, it's easy, and you can sign up in one place. So to this, we've also added a little resource tab, which is handy for current students, new students, just things that you would find helpful. So from that tab, I just go to the current student webpage, and we kind of talked about this a little bit in the afternoon, but this is just a handy page that has everything that you might need as a current WSU student now. It even has a little checklist for things to do or to consider before starting your semester. It has registration, our Get Tech Ready site, which just has some information on technical help. We do have some tech support, and this is a question we get a lot throughout the semester. If you ever have a problem with a Canvas course or any sort of technical issue, we do have quite a bit of options, even weekend help. And you can find all of that at this link. You can either call or email, they're really responsive. And then if I go back, we also have student support services, kind of just all in one place. So again, if you need help with financial aid, graduation applications, all of that stuff, your writing portfolio, that's all going to be here, either email or phone. And then career support services. If you were at our afternoon academic involvement fair, you might have seen it, but Chris Miller is our career counselor for the global campus. You can request counseling sessions with him, talk to him one-on-one, and he's super helpful with that, anything that you might need on that end. And then again, more student involvement resources, which I will go ahead and plug our student involvement fair on Thursday if you want more information on any of these. And then we also have a link to Presence here, ASWSU Global. I'll go ahead and go to our video vault as well. We do a lot of webinars and events throughout the year. This is mainly where you'll find any that were recorded in all of these categories here.